It's typical Chelsea yet again. We thought they would come back with all those three brilliant results against Dortmund and two others in the Premier League, and no, they've done that against Everton. As a West Ham fan, couldn't let Everton get anything out of this. They're on 26 points now because of that. Anyway, it ended 2-2. Sims with a late minute goal. But I mean, first goal for Everton, absolutely bullied Koulibaly and scored like that. I mean, Chelsea at home, you need to do better. And really, Chelsea were miles better than Everton. They were literally all in their half, really. It was all in Everton's half because Chelsea were all over them. I've not actually got the possession stat, but it's something absolutely ridiculous. And after 5 games today, it's been 21 goals over the whole 5 games, and it's been, as a West Ham fan, it's not as bad as the week where there was three of the bottom teams winning, but it's a very bad day for me as a West Ham fan. Although we're going to talk about Everton-Chelsea. Just watched it, and to be honest, Chelsea should have won by about 3 or 4 goals, but no, they didn't because I can't really say they can't score. They should have scored a lot more. I did agree with the penalty, probably one of the most blatant penalties you'll see. And Havertz with, I think, 3-3 now it is, so he's slowly getting back on form. I did say that Havertz was rubbish and that they should get rid of him. And now he's suddenly started to play well again, scoring some goals. But yeah, it's typical that Everton get a draw against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. They've only won once at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League, which was in 1994 or something like that. And they didn't deserve to win. They didn't deserve to get any points out of this because Chelsea were all over them the whole game. Reece James and Chilwell, brilliant together, linking up. Brilliant. It's a brilliant boost having them back from injury for Chelsea. No one else really stood out for me. I suppose João Felix had a few chances he should have scored. Wasn't many Everton players that stood out. I suppose Sean Dyche did inevitably make the right decision, putting Sims on, and obviously getting the equaliser. It was actually a good finish, to be honest, so credit to him. But they didn't deserve any of it. Although sometimes you need a bit of luck to keep you up, really, in the Premier League, and that's probably what Everton got today. Chelsea looking a lot better from where they were, though. Graham Potter was, we said that we should get him sacked, although he's maybe slowly crawling his way up, sort of getting himself back on track at Chelsea. Big question is, though, can Chelsea manage to get, I'd say, Europa League? I think the Conference League is just sort of, it's okay to win it. Now I'd want West Ham to win it because we can get into Europa League, but that's really the only thing that it's for. Although if you don't win it, it's literally just a competition that makes you play every Sunday and gives you an extra game in the week, which isn't great if you're a team that's struggling maybe or needs to fight for something in their domestic league. So Chelsea would probably, what they'd be aiming for now is top 6. They're not going to get top 4 definitely. And would I see them getting ahead of Brighton, Liverpool? Team-wise, just on paper, they'd definitely be ahead of Brighton, Brentford, Fulham. Liverpool, yes, probably, because Liverpool aren't great at the moment. Both teams, Liverpool and Chelsea, aren't being consistent. And Spurs, obviously, we talked about that. Can they get top 6? Chelsea. I wouldn't. Actually, if they can carry on in this sort of upward slope that's not really just Potter, but the team's starting to gel together. Enzo Fernandez is looking pretty good. They've got Chilwell and James back. It's looking up for them. Although, if they do get 7th, I think there'll be more. I think because it'll be hard to explain this. If they get 7th, unless the season after they're gonna absolutely bottle it, and they'll need to win the Conference League, then they don't need it. They'd rather finish 8th and have the chance to focus fully on the domestic league and maybe get into top 4, because they have got on paper a superb team. They've spent 600 million since the new owners have come in. They've bought some superb players that are now starting to work pretty well together, except Mudryk, who's just sat on the bench now, not really doing absolutely anything. Felix is doing all right. Probably should have scored today, but he didn't. Kai Havertz is starting to find his form. 3 goals in 3 games as well for him. And obviously we said Enzo Fernandez is looking pretty good. And they've got 2 fullbacks, James and Chilwell, back. Everton's side of things, though, is just really surviving relegation. And if they're going to get these scrappy, undeserved points away from home, and I think home form will keep them up, then they are going to stay up. Because I said this on the last one, Southampton and Bournemouth are going down, and then it's between Leeds, Forest, Everton, and actually maybe West Ham, because unless West Ham can turn it around, then, although I would see West Ham beating Leeds, Everton, Forest, so yeah, maybe just them 3 or 4, you could say. And out of them, I'd see the Leeds or Forest going down, because Everton would stay up on home form. So, although with Everton, they've got no, because that whole game was them defending. They had maybe one player who waited up front, and I think it must have been Damari Gray, who was as if he was a CDM the whole game when he was supposed to be up there with whoever it was. I forgot who it was. They did well to defend, because Chelsea should have scored about 6 that game. Although that's where the bad side of Chelsea comes in, because it wasn't just Everton's defending, it was Chelsea's clinical finishing that wasn't on point, and that's where they need to improve on. Havertz is improving on it a bit. João Felix maybe needs to improve on it. Every player can improve on everything, but if you're coming up against teams that, maybe not Everton, but teams that are, and most teams can do this, that are better at defending than Everton, you're not going to be able to score many, and that's where their goal scoring, where they've not been scoring goals, comes from this season. And now they're starting to score goals, which is looking up for them, but they shouldn't have conceded to as well. All over them that whole game, and they've only got a point out of it. So, not great for them. Anyway, though, there's one game in the Premier League tomorrow, Arsenal against Crystal Palace, which is a very good game. And there's the three FA Cup games: Brighton Grimsby, Man U Fulham, and Sheffield United against Blackburn Rovers. So, very good there. Thanks for watching. You've been watching the English Football Podcast. Goodbye.